Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Now at 5:30, Lexington police looking for a burglar who they say broke into a restaurant through an air vent on the roof. We'll have more on this story.
Also on WKYT This Morning, Oscar Pistorius is back in court this morning to determine what, if any, time he will serve for killing his girlfriend, Reva Steenkamp.
Allison Lundergan-Grimes and Mitch McConnell go head-to-head tonight in the only televised Senators debate. These stories and breaking news as it happens on WKYT This Morning.
Well, good morning to you and welcome. It's good to have you along on this Monday. It's Columbus Day, October 13th. We're delighted you're here. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. Thanks so much for being along on this somewhat stormy Monday morning.
Yeah, we've had a little thunder here and there,
yeah.
and that looks to continue. It looks like maybe some sunshine as well today. Meteorologist Jim Caldwell is in our First Alert Weather Center. Good morning.
Yeah, we try to throw a little sunshine in maybe for a little while later on today. That's going to help, though. Try to help some of the thunderstorm activity along. Unfortunately, once we get into the afternoon and evening, some folks might get in on full sunshine briefly before more thunderstorms start to ramp up. They're ramping up just out to our west right now from Louisville, now trying to close in on folks there in Franklin County, already getting a little more active through there. The thunderstorm threat going down a little bit with these, mainly just some heavy rain producers, setting us up, though, for the flood potential. Shower storms pass through during the overnight hours. There you see the progression of this system in another wave just to our south across parts of Tennessee that will likely come swinging into our area. Temperature-wise out there, it's a pretty warm morning. 67 in Lexington, upper 60s down toward London, and mid-60s elsewhere. So not bad temperature-wise, but that means we don't have that far to go to get to some very warm temperatures today, which again will help those thunderstorms develop for later today. I'll break those chances down coming up for you here in just a few minutes.
Right, those full details shortly. Thank you. Let's get to the news.
New this morning, Lexington police are looking for a burglar who broke into the Logan's Roadhouse restaurant on Broadway. They destroyed a safe and escaped through the back door.
Apparently crawling through the vents. Police say they are not sure how much money the burglar got away with. WKYT's Mark Barber is live at the restaurant now to tell us what happened, and he's joining us. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Bill and Rebecca. Police say after the burglar climbed onto the roof of the restaurant, they tried to get inside several different ways, but didn't have any success until they found an air vent. Now, officers tell me the creative crook broke into the Logan's Roadhouse here on South Broadway by forcing open the vent and crawling into the building. Investigators say at this point they don't know if the person was working alone because they may have needed help climbing onto the roof. Now, officers tell us once the burglar was inside, they damaged the safe until they could force it open and take the money. Police believe the person took off through the back door, setting off the alarm around 2:15 this morning. We're told canines were not able to track the burglar beyond the building. Now, there still is a police presence here this morning. Investigators say they do not have a suspect description at this time because they are still reviewing the security footage, trying to see if that burglary was caught on tape. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Mark, thank you. A sexual predator who police say traveled states away to have sex with an underage girl is set to face a judge today. Lexington officers arrested Grant Bertram at a home on Scottish Trace on Friday. They say Bertram traveled from Kentucky to Florida, where he had sex with a girl between the ages of 12 and 16 years old. The Florida detective working the case tells us Bertram and his victim met at an online game site called World of Warcraft. Families who lived only a couple of doors down from Bertram in Lexington are worried for their children's safety.
It really pulls the carpet out from under you. It makes us rethink our strategies now for, protecting our children and what we need to do for, our neighborhood.
Bertram is scheduled to appear in court today for an arraignment. He's being held in the Fayette County Detention Center on a $200,000 bond.
We have some new information this morning about a suspect involved in an armed robbery in Danville last month. We've learned that it's not the first time this particular suspect, Rico Penix, has been charged with robbery.
According to Central Kentucky News, Penix was indicted for first-degree robbery back in 2012. He was only 17 at the time, but was charged as an adult. It was a similar situation, according to police, when he and 4 other teenagers held up a clerk at the Bluegrass truck stop in Danville. Penix was just in court last week to answer to assault and robbery charges in another Danville robbery. He and 2 others pleaded not guilty to robbing a Danville Domino's and shooting the clerk inside. That clerk, Zoe Reed, is still in UK hospital and in serious condition.
Well, good news if you're looking to fill up your gas tank. Gas is now below $3 a gallon in parts of Lexington. The Thorntons and Speedway on Winchester Road both now at $2.97 a gallon, and the Kroger and Marathon on Alexandria Drive both at only $3.03. Gas prices across the country have dropped, with the average price in Missouri leveling out at $2.93, some cities as low as $2.64. So some rare good news for us when it comes to the gas pumps. Laurel County deputies are investigating a crash on US 25 that injured a Corbin woman. They say Carrie Price Martin got out of a car that was sitting idle on the side of the road and ran into the middle of the highway where a second car hit her. Deputies arrested Rhonda Klaus, Chad Martin, and Timothy Ayers. They are facing intoxication charges. We're told the victim was arguing with her husband, Chad Martin, when she left the car. Crews airlifted her to UK Hospital with serious injuries.
The time is 5:37 on WKYT this morning. A Louisville woman is behind bars this morning, accused of stealing thousands of dollars in gift cards to pay for heroin. Police say Christy Moss stole merchandise from a Walmart and then returned the items for gift cards. She then stole the gift cards for cash. We're told that she stole $15,000 worth of gift cards and is currently charged with engaging in organized crime, theft, and drug possession.
Olympic blade runner Oscar Pistorius is back in court today to learn his sentence after being convicted of unlawfully killing his girlfriend. A South African judge found Pistorius guilty of culpable homicide last month. Pistorius' personal psychologist has been on the stand this morning talking about Pistorius' mental condition before and after he shot Reva Steenkamp. The court has adjourned so that the prosecutor can consult with the state psychologist. A typical sentence for the charge is 5 to 8 years, but there is no max or minimum sentence.
U.S. Senator Rand Paul speaking out about the Ebola virus, saying he does not want to create a panic, but he believes the virus is more contagious than people think. Paul argues one way to combat the virus is to keep it contained in Africa.
But I also don't think it's that unreasonable to suspend commercial flights. I mean, if you want to visit your son or daughter and you're coming from Liberia, couldn't you wait a couple of months?
So far, 4,000 people worldwide have died from Ebola. Kentucky's Secretary of State Allison Lundergan Grimes and Senator Mitch McConnell will hold their first and probably only televised debate tonight. That'll be at 8 o'clock on Kentucky Educational Television. WKYT Sean Moody is live from KET this morning with more on what to expect. Sean, good morning.
Good morning. This will probably be the only chance for people to see Secretary of State Allison Lundergan Grimes and Senator Mitch McConnell debate head-to-head on television. Several organizations have proposed proposed debate throughout the year, but this is the only one that both candidates have agreed to. The debate will begin at 8 o'clock tonight on KET, but not all the candidates for Senate will be there. Libertarian David Patterson was not invited. He asked a judge to force KET to include him, but the judge declined, saying Patterson wasn't excluded solely because of his political views. Grimes and McConnell have attacked each other through ads and speeches. They also appeared together at the Kentucky Farm Bureau Candidates Forum, and they each made speeches at Fancy Farm, but this is the first time they've directly debated each other. McConnell and Grimes have traded the lead throughout the year. Grimes led by 4 in a WKYT Herald Leader Bluegrass poll in February. Over the summer, McConnell led by 4. In the most recent Bluegrass poll in October, Grimes jumped ahead in the race by 2. Now, there's less than a month to Election Day. Both candidates are making their final pushes. Both McConnell and Grimes will be trying to get as many votes as possible. And Grimes actually has some big star power coming into the Commonwealth this week. Former President Bill Clinton has been to Kentucky twice to stump for Grimes. Later this week, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton will come to Louisville to campaign for Grimes. Live in Lexington, Sean Moody, WKYT.
Well, Earthquake Awareness Week starts today in Kentucky, and Lexington's Division of Emergency Management is urging all of us to educate ourselves on preparedness. Kentucky is impacted by 2 earthquake fault zones, one in southern Illinois and Indiana, and the New Madrid earthquake zone. There's also one near Maysville in northeastern Kentucky. There will be a nationwide earthquake drill this Thursday at 10:16. You can look up information about earthquake safety at BeReadyLexington.com.
All right, prepare for something we hope we don't have to deal with. It's 5:41 now. Local celebrities got to battle in the saddle over the weekend. The annual celebrity team pinning event pairs two amateur riders with a celebrity guest rider. And one of those guests was WKYT's very own Deanne Stevens. Watch her go. She helped one team trying to pin a group of cattle the fastest. All money raised will benefit the Kentucky Horse Park.